happy to have Doug here. And to get started, I think we can do a round of rapid fire questions, just to get to know Doug a little bit more, even though you guys have met Doug before. So about the Hoyas, about his plans, and also about Doug himself. So are you ready, Doug? So how long have you been going Hoyas, Doug?
Right around 20 years. I think 2004, just about, I got my first Hoya. I
Okay,
wasn't serious about it then, but that's when I got my very first one.
and what was the first Hoya?
It was a little Hoya called Hoya rubra, which is a carnosa, and it was in a little 2-inch pot at Home Depot, and I had got a bunch of 2-inch plants to start for my new house. So it's a converted farmhouse in Waterville that I wanted to grow out, and it did really well, and it grew really quickly, and in a year or two, it flowered, and I was so enthralled that that's what started the bug.
There you go. Okay, so what was your inspiration to start Vermont Hoyas?
Um, I'd have to say that when I first got into the hobby, I often went to a website and referred to it constantly. And it was a Swedish website. It was called My Hoyas by Christina Carlson. And I think she inspired me more than anyone else. And then when you start having successes, you want to share it, and everybody has a little bit of an ego, so you want to put it somewhere. So that's why I came up with Vermont Hoist. I knew nothing about websites at all, and I still barely can get around in it, but I managed to create this WordPress website that's still with us today. I think I started around 2010.
Oh, okay. Has been a while.
It's been out there quite a while.
Nice. Okay, so next question is, I think everyone wants to know, do you have any non-Hoyas plans by any chance?
I have a single Sansevieria left. It's a dangerous thing. I don't know why I keep it around, because you always have if you bend down to smell a Hoya flower or something, you have to be very careful that you don't get spiked in the eye.
There you go.
But I do have that, and I have a Discidia, Discidia ruscifolia.
Okay.
That's it. Everything else is Hoyas.
Everything is no more room, no room, save room for Hoyas. All rooms from Hoya.
No, I mean, I went through different plant phases in my life, but
yeah,
I had my begonia phase and my African violet phase, but it's been Hoyas for 20 years.
Interesting. So that's the destination Hoyas.
Yeah.
So there's on the market, there's so many different, types of Hoya now because of the people cultivate them. And so there's some splashy one, there's some variegation, there's also the wingy one or just a plain green leaf. So I have to ask, what is your favorite?
It's always been a solid green Hoya, the way they were in nature. That was always my favorite. But recently, in the past couple of years, I've never actually paid for one, but people either give them to me or I get them in trades. I have a few variegated ones now that I'm quite attached to, and I have to say they're extremely attractive. The variegated Polynura and Cumangiana, and I have to say they make striking specimens. So I guess that would be my second favorite.
What is the best, or best smelling and the worst smelling blooms that you have had?
Okay, probably one of the Hoyas that has the absolute most amazing fragrance is Calycina Stargazer. The perfume is so strong and sweet that just a few blossoms can perfume an entire room. So that's probably my favorite. I sometimes I have difficulty growing the plant, and I probably wouldn't even still have it around if it wasn't for the fragrance of those blooms. Hoya McGillray has a tropical fragrance that nothing else really compares to it. It's been said that it smells a lot like gardenias, but of that whole McGillray complex, that one without a doubt has the best fragrance, the strongest fragrance. It's magical. So that's another one. Divuensis, I was very surprised. These pink bell-shaped flowers. I didn't have any idea that they were going to smell strongly of caramel. So that smells really nice too. It's not like overpowering caramel, but when you get near it, you can smell it. It's quite strong. Griffithii, very, very sweet, very intense, sweet smell. Some of the Tissolata, they can smell very sweet too. I've got a number of them right now that are starting to bud up just on the windowsills. And when they bloom, it's very sweet and it smells great. Probably the stinkiest, if one had to be the stinkiest Hoya smell for a flower, Oblong acutifolia. It used to be called Hoya graveolens. It probably has the worst fragrance that I have smelled, but I keep it around. I still have the plant because I just like the flowers. And sometimes you keep it around for that, but that would be the stinkiest flower.
Is the Hoya ruber the oldest Hoya in your collection? Do you still have
I
it?
don't even have that one anymore.
Oh, okay.
That one went away a long time ago. Got started over a few times. Probably the Hoya. See, there's two ways you can look at this question. The Hoya that I've probably had the longest is Hoya calistophylla, but it's been started over so many times over the year.
Okay.
I got that one from Carol Noel when I first got in the hobby, when she was selling plants out, in Hawaii. But the plant I probably don't have anything that's over 7 years old in the same pot, and that's only one at Vang Viengiensis. That's been sitting in the same pot now for probably about 7 years. So that would probably be the one in the pot the longest.
What is your least favorite or like the most challenging Hoya to you?
Well, I have this stupid little Hoya Lohrei, or it's Lohrei, I think. And I've been trying to flower that thing for a number of years, and it's just been, it just hasn't liked me. So I'm going to have to say that's my least favorite Hoya. And the only reason I still keep it around is because I haven't flowered it. And once I flower it, it's going to be gone.
You're going to throw it in the whipper?
Yes. But I have to flower that thing. So one of these days I'm going to figure it out.
Okay. Keep us posted on that. You mentioned that you also have a Sansevieria and then you also have a Decidia. So I assume that's the two other genera that you grow.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. That's answered the question.
I really like that Dischidia ruscifolia. I got it in a trade like 10 years ago, and it's the easiest plant I think I've ever grown in my life. And it makes the greatest hanging basket with virtually no work. And it gets these little microscopic flowers in the fall that all fall all over the place, but they're so tiny. But I just like that plant. Who doesn't want a plant that just looks beautiful when you do nothing for it? So that's why
it's when it's super easy, right?
Yeah, super easy.
Agree. So what species are you currently working on propagating?
I'm propagating right now Divuensis, species frogfoot, which is just another version of Amarita. I just started my Hoya polystachya over. That was a funny one. It was a big one that sat in this corner over here. They're all called latifolia now, all of these plants, but there's so many different types of leaves in that latifolia grouping. But anyways, I noticed the other day the leaves kept getting worse and worse looking, and I didn't know what was going on. I thought maybe I'd overwatered it. It was one of the ones that was in one of my old mixes, and I looked at the base of it really well, and it was completely dry rotted up above. So there was no way any life at all was going to it from the roots or anything. It was dry rotted right off. So I started that off over again, and so I have like 4 pots of that I'm propagating right now. And I think there's a Griffithii too that I'm propagating, and that's about it right now. I usually only propagate when I have to, when something is getting ready to die or there's something wrong with it.
Same. When I see, okay, this doesn't look too good. Let me just chop a couple, like at a backup plan, right? Sounds good. Okay. I would like to get to know Doug a little bit more, just on a personal level.
Okay.
So Doug, were you original from Vermont? Like, where were you born, or where did you grow up?
Yes, I was born in Burlington, Vermont, and I've lived my entire life within 35 miles of the city.
Oh,
That's the biggest city in Vermont, but it's only about 40,000. So, um, not a very big state. It's not a very big area.
nice. So will you retire now, right, Doug?
I am. I retired at 60. I was lucky enough to do that. So
Ah.
I am retired, happily retired.
What did you do for a living before that?
I held primarily two different jobs in my life. I was a picture framer for probably about 12 years. I
Oh,
framed
wow.
over 20,000 pictures, and one day I just couldn't take it anymore, and I quit that. And then I went to school, got an accounting degree, and tried to practice that, and I didn't like that either. And then I ended up in the library, working in the library, and I spent like 26 years working for a public library. And that's what I did to earn my living over the years.
Wow, that is so interesting. Like I would not imagine Doug was a librarian. If you have a superpower, what would it be?
A superpower. If I had the ability to be able to transport myself instantly to any place I would like to without having to go through all the hassle of traveling and just sort of like beam yourself there like they did on Star Trek, that would be the most awesome superpower. And then I could enjoy it and then I could beam myself right back without any of the traveling inconveniences. I just don't travel well. I don't like it. I haven't left Vermont in at least 10 years.
Mm,
So,
mm.
no, I
Okay.
don't go anywhere. So that would be a superpower if I could pick one.
See, that would be nice. That's like, do we call it teleporting.
Teleport.
There's a
Yes, I would
term.
be able
There's a
to
term for that,
teleport.
teleporting.
That's what I
There you
want.
go. Yeah, when's your birthday, Doug?
My birthday is in March, March 7th.
Oh, coming up. Okay.
It's coming up. Yeah, another year
Okay.
older. I can't do anything about it, I guess. And they come quicker and quicker.
Tell me about it. And the way I look at it is like, what is the other option of not getting older, right? So I would rather get older. So
That's
that's all.
true.
That's how I think it. Okay. So you mentioned, I think before everyone joined, you mentioned the weather was like pretty cold right now in Vermont.
Yes.
And I have to ask you, do you prefer cold or hot weather?
I would have to say I prefer the hot weather. But I have to say, living here in Vermont, I do really appreciate a change of seasons.
Ah,
It's I wouldn't want it to be the same season all the time because it also winter also gives you a sort of a break or a respite from everything that you do all summer, the lawn mowing and the care of the vegetable garden and the maintenance of the house and everything else, and then your Hoyas are growing faster, so you almost need that season where you can sort of cut back a little bit, and winter allows me to do that.
do you have any pets?
I have two cats left. We've had cats my entire married life. Most of the time we had around six cats, but we're finally down to like two cats, two male cats. We have one named Murdoch, white and black cat named after Murdoch Mysteries, the TV show, and another cat, all black cat named Mawson, who's about 10, and he's named after a famous Antarctic explorer.
So cute. Yeah, I saw one of them last time. I forgot which one did I see, but
I think that was Murdoch. He snuck
yeah.
around the corner.
Oh, do you have any other lawn plant hobbies?
Um, Vegetable gardening. I do some woodworking. I've gotten into. I watch a lot of Asian dramas. I have to say, for some reason, these things I started watching them about 4 years ago, and now I'm like hooked on these things. It's like an embarrassing thing, but I can't stop. Mostly Korean dramas, but I've recently got into Japanese and Chinese dramas too. So I that's an embarrassing secret, but
No, it just blew my mind. Like ducks like Chinese or Korean or Japanese drama. That's crazy. We can talk about it offline.
their sensibilities, they just fit me so perfectly. I just love them.
Okay, great. Like we'll talk offline. I want to get some
Okay.
recommendation from you. So, what is your favorite food, Doug?
Probably scones and bacon. It's an
Breakfast
odd
food.
thing.
Hey,
Every weekend I make scones, and we have scones and bacon in the morning while we watch our Korean drama.
perfect. What's better
They,
than
they
that?
go perfectly together.
You could live anywhere in the world. Where would you live?
I would probably live right where I'm living now in Vermont. I've never lived anywhere else. I have traveled so little. I'm pretty happy here with what Vermont has to offer. So I would have to say I would live right here.
Hey, awesome. I think that's great. You like Vermont and you stay there, and then with all your Hoyas and your two cats and
Yes,
your Korean dramas. I
yes.
think that's pretty great.
I got the world right here.
You got everything you love right here.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome.